Well, earlier this year, Oregon lawmakers had 6 months to try and pass a bill to fund the Department of Transportation. They didn't make it, so today was supposed to be the start of a special session that the governor called to try and get something across the finish line. If they don't, hundreds of workers will be laid off at ODOT and local agencies, and road projects will have to be cut back. So far, it's not looking great. The hearing was supposed to start at 11 in the morning, but it was delayed several times throughout the day. So many delays, in fact, and so much mess and confusion that, check this out, someone from the public threw foam clown noses from the balcony at the Capitol onto the chamber floor. Capitol staff there had to go around and pick them up. In case you had any question about how some people are feeling about the delays or the funding package. Okay, let's bring in Evan Watson now. He's live at the Capitol. Evan, crazy day, but talk to us. Why these delays?
Yeah, Blair, simply put, lawmakers couldn't reach quorum. That's 40 people, 40 legislators here to start this process. Republicans said that they provided the floor they were asked for, so that would leave Democrats a couple short, more or less. We didn't get any clear answers on that today, but it led to delay after delay. What should have started at 11 has yet to come to fruition, and who's to say when that actually gets underway? A frustrating, sputtering start to this session.
Yeah, very frustrating. Okay, so Republicans and Democrats have pretty different ideas on how to fund ODOT. They couldn't come to an agreement during the regular session, but what did they tell you today?
Yeah, absolutely. So let's start with Governor Kotek's proposal, $5.8 billion of funding over about 10 years for transportation funding. Some of the details in that, specifically, she wants to raise the gas tax by 6 cents, raise the payroll tax, add hundreds of dollars for vehicle and title registration fees, and also add some fees and costs for electric vehicle drivers so they share in the cost to maintain roads more than just the people who pay the gas tax when they're buying their gas at the pump. Republicans, on the other hand, say that there should be no new fees or taxes to solve this budget crisis, these transportation problems that we've talked about. They say what should happen here is that for the very basic needs, they should be able to change state statute to allow ODOT to use money that's earmarked for other things such as clean energy projects or public transportation to then use that for maintenance and for staff money as well. Two different approaches that they're looking at.
And Evan, caught in the middle of all this are ODOT workers. What are you hearing from them?
Yeah, with that specifically, with ODOT workers, they are frustrated by how this process played out. They showed up today, they were protesting on the steps behind me saying, hey, we just want some kind of solution, some way to get an answer here and make sure our funding comes through. And here's what one of those workers told me.
You know, there's a lot of talk about affordability right now. You know, we're working class people. No one likes to see taxes and fees goes up. We feel that. But I mean, if you think this is expensive, it's because the legislature has kicked this can down the road for far too long.
Okay, so Evan, if Republicans got their way and changed state laws, that would take a lot of money from environmental projects, right?
Yeah, I asked Republican leader Daniel Bonham about that, the Republican House leader, that is. And this was his answer to me when I said, hey, isn't this a bit of a short-term relief, your proposal, could it be, to not have those tax increases, but if you're cutting from environmental programs, could that be a long-term impact? Here's what he told me.
And so this small 6 cents that they're calling it, small 6 cents, is going to come with more and more taxation very soon in the name of achieving those climate goals. So if we could actually just hit the brakes on some of those goals today and roll back some of the regulatory burden, we could decrease the cost pressure, and then we can start to have a real conversation with how do we get there for your climate goals that doesn't just drive people out of the state of Oregon.
Okay, and Evan, what are Democrats saying in response to that?
Simply that transportation investment has lagged behind for years. I talked with one Senator Confam who told me that this is a product of waiting too long to do something and letting things get bad, and that's why action needs to happen now. Here's what she said.
Oregonians can't afford to let our roads crumble. This is about making sure that our roads are passable, that they are functioning so that Oregonians can get to work, they can get their kids to school.
So what happens next here? Are they going to continue the session over the weekend?
Yeah, Blair, it's a great question. The answer to that is we will see. Right now, to the point that we saw some legislative staffers not even 30 minutes ago walk by with a bunch of boxes of pizza and say we're in a holding pattern. So as to if anything gets done tonight or it gets done this weekend or they restart on Monday, we've not had any clear confirmation about the scheduling process, just as if each delay today was just a delay on top of a delay. No real clear answers why, but we do know that they are not under special session rules as of this morning. That did not come to an agreement, so they will have to have multiple days of multiple hearings to pass anything when it comes to a transportation package. So this is likely lasting into next week at the very least.
My gosh. Okay, Evan Watson will continue to follow this live at the Capitol for us tonight. Evan, thank you.